Okay, hello, welcome to my channel on aspects of culture and continuous improvement. Today we will talk about the move from strategy to action, or what we call strategy deployment. That is, how do we get from a strategy into a practice that fulfills the strategy? And I will introduce to you an extremely powerful strategy deployment method. It's general. It can be used in a variety of settings, in a variety of businesses, and also a variety of applications. It has been widely used with success, and I have used it myself for the last 12 to 14 years, and I really appreciate it. I use it all the time when we do a strategy deployment. So this method will be introduced here now. But before I go further, please subscribe to my channel and please click on the notify icon in order to get notified about future episodes. Okay, so what is actually strategy deployment? From this slide here, I have defined strategy deployment as a two-part process. The first one is the planning, where you plan what to do, and the other one is to execute what you plan to do in the form of activities, and these activities will be very carefully selected because they aim to fulfill the strategy of the business. So strategy deployment is a two-phase process, but this is not enough to just carry on. I will introduce to you now a method called Hoshin-Kanri, and unfortunately it's a lot of different definitions and or flavors of Hoshin out there. Some are all too complex to be easily communicated in the organization, or they are too complex to really work as a living guide on how to work with strategy deployment. And also some people intermix strategy deployment on Hoshin with some sort of balanced scorecard, which it is not. So if you look at this slide here, the very important basic for the deployment when you go for a Hoshin-Kanri approach, which I highly recommend, is to focus on the value streams. And the value streams are the activities that your business consists of. So the strategies are linked to value streams. They may be the existing value streams, or you have in your strategy that you have to define a new set of products or services that will result in new value streams, and that will also be covered by the strategy deployment method. And for each of these value streams in your strategy, you define breakthrough goals. And breakthrough goals are highly ambitious goals, because it's much more important to strive to reach a breakthrough goal than not setting these goals. For example, to achieve 75% of a breakthrough goal is much better than not having any goal. And breakthrough goals are really key in the value stream or deployment, strategy deployment, in order to improve. So what influences on the breakthrough goals? And that's the next step. You have to identify the relevant target areas, and the target area is the part of your value stream in focus you have to improve on. So the breakthrough goals will tell you what kind of goals you will have to reach for, and the target areas are the parts of the value stream that will give you the breakthrough goal fulfillment. So, and then the question is, how do you know that I'm on the right track? And that's where key performance indicators comes in. So within each target area, you define a set of KPIs that will guide you and tell you, am I on the right track? Are we going in the right direction? Or do we have to redefine the strategy deployment process? And the last and really most important part of this sequence is the action plans, because every action has to be linked to the target areas in order to fulfill the BTGs, and then again the value stream improvement and the strategy. So the rolling action plans could probably be 90 days rolling strategies. I'm used to do that, setting up prioritized actions in a 90 days rolling schema. And on each of the activities in that schema, you use plan, do, check, act to follow up that these actions are really carried out. And the plan, do, check, act method will be explained in my next episode. So for the time being, it's just a way to ensure that activities are really carried out. Okay, to recap, what is actually a value stream? Well, a value stream is the set of activities that has to be done in order to produce a certain product or carry out a certain business or defining any new product, whatever you are doing. Everything you do in your business could and should be described by corresponding value streams. They are key because by identifying value streams, you identify the activities. In this illustration, we have 7 activities. All these 7 activities are value add activities that adds to the service or the product that you are working on. And as you see, every activity is interlinked with a handshake, and the handshake is a sort of business rule or a routine or a checklist that ensures that what you do in one process is properly done in order to leave that to the next phase or the next activity in the activity sequence. So handshakes are really important. They are the business rules for doing all the activities in the right way and knowing what to expect for the prior activity. And with value stream, in the value stream process, we also have information. We have all the things that needs to be fulfilled in order to have a formalized way of doing the service or product that you are carrying out. So typically in a business there are several value streams, and each value stream has to do with one product or one service or whatever you do. It may be in the health sector, it can be in industry, it can be in high-tech industry, and whatever. There are activities that has to be catched up in form of value streams, and that's why value streams are so important in strategy deployment, because you have to act on your value streams in order to improve. Okay, knowing this, then we have to set up the schema or the method that link these types of activities together. Okay, the first and the blue rectangle on top is actually the strategy formulation, that what you are actually going to do. What are you going to achieve? And this strategy will influence on your value streams. In this particular example, you prioritize the most important value streams that will constitute the fulfillment of your strategy. In this particular example, we have a value stream 1 and a value stream 2. And for each value stream, you define breakthrough goals. What are the breakthrough goals that need to be defined in order to get the strategy up and going? So in this particular example, a value stream 1 consists of 2 breakthrough goals, 2 different goals that you need to improve in the value stream. And for each of these breakthrough goals, you select the areas within the value stream that is involved and what you are going to do with it in order to improve. And that is the target area. It's a part of the value stream selected in order to focus on that to achieve the breakthrough goals. And breakthrough goal 1 in this example will be fulfilled if the target area 1 and target area 2 is well identified and you have actions on these in order to achieve the goal. In order to know that you achieve the goal, we have to define key performance indicators, and that is a set of metrics in order to know if you are on the right track to fulfill the breakthrough goal. So that is how you measure, am I on the right way? If not, I have to redefine the target areas or the breakthrough goal. Or maybe also I have to target or select another value stream because it turns out that this value stream is not the most important one. But anyway, by having all these set up, the last part you do is to execute on the actions that you have to have in place in order to influence on the target areas and reach the key performance indicators, and then you know you are on the track. So the action plan is a list of actions that need to be done in order to focus on the target areas to reach your breakthrough goals. So these are the simple, very highly easy way to communicate in your organization and get people involved. And from this you can see that this is not a leadership strategy, and that's very important to say. The strategy tends to be a leadership management or owner part. That's the way to do it. The owners and the management are formulating the strategy. But it's very, very important to understand that the value streams and the breakthrough goals and the target areas and the KPIs and the actions, in order for them to be relevant and right in order to fulfill the strategy, you have to really involve your organization. And by involving them, you get the ownership and all these things that has to do with creating a culture and continuous improvement. So this is very important to understand. And I think what you see from this figure, you have the strategy, the value streams, the breakthrough goals, the target areas, the KPIs, and action plans on 1 and 2 or maybe 2-3 pages at the maximum. So it's a very, very powerful tool. Everybody is on board, everybody understands what it is. They have been part of formulating what to do, selecting the target areas and everything. So you get ownership that is highly, highly valuable, because that's the way to actually fulfill the strategy. Okay, just to illustrate this a little bit, I would like to show you how Hoshin-Kanri value stream approach can be obtained in one specific value stream. So in this slide, I have defined an activity sequence. It's the one we saw from earlier on with the 7 steps. And we formulate a breakthrough goal. And to reach that breakthrough goal, we see that the target area 1 is activity 6 in the activity sequence in the value stream. So there may be some issues in number 6 that if we improve them, we will create flow or improvement or whatever we need in the activity sequence in order for it to improve and get the strategy up and going. That is also the same with target area 2. But in target area 2, we focus on the handshake because for some reason there are conflicts or not proper interfaces between activity 1 and activity 2. So we have to define the business rules in order for activity 2 to take what is provided by activity 1 and know exactly that this is right. I have got what I asked for in the structure we have agreed on, and now I can do my part. So these 2 target areas, one with an activity improvement, the other with improving the interface or the handshake between 2 activities, that is the breakthrough goal 1 in this particular example. And when that is set up, we have some KPIs, 2 KPIs for target area 1, and we have 3 in this example for target area 2, and then we just convert these target area actions related to activity 6 and the interface between E1 and 2 into action plans, and then we execute on the action plan by implementing it. And now you see that a top level manager will have no clue as to what to focus on, what target areas to focus on. So by using the Hoshin-Kanri method, you involve people in selecting and improving and setting the target areas right, so that your strategy is actually fulfilled. So I hope that these examples and this description gives you some inspiration to understand how a very easy approach to deploy strategy can be done. And so I would like to give you just some observations and takeaways from this. And that is, to carry out your strategy deployment forces you to involve your coworkers. This is not a management tool. Because you may ask the question, who knows the existing value streams better than the people working in it? There are no people knowing more about the value stream than the people working in the value stream. So you are forced to involve your coworkers in order to get an efficient strategy deployment. And who knows the potential for implementation better than the people working in it? Of course, that's the people working in it that knows what potentials there are. They know the weaknesses in the value chains, and they know that a certain value stream may be corrected and has the potential to be very, very much improved. So the takeaway here is that Hoshin-Kanri is a method for strategy deployment that involves people, creates responsibility and ownership at the same time. And that's exactly what you need to do in order to create a culture of continuous improvement, right? Okay. So the next time we will discuss plan, do, check, act. Or put in another word, how you secure all your improvement efforts. So thank you so much for this episode. Subscribe and get notified by clicking on the icons below. And I see you in the next episode of my channel. Thank you so much.